Right, hello everyone. Hope you are all doing well as always. This is just well, I was about to say quick. I'll try and make it as quick as possible, but this is just going to be a short video from me detailing notes that I've got for 2026 for the new year. Because would you believe it, we have just entered a new year, 2026, mate. What's going on? Time is just not slowing down for anyone right now. So, yeah, it is now of the essence. So, I might as well just crack on with these. Basically, it's just a video detailing notes and updates for this year that I want to speak to you guys about and make you aware of. Some of the things that I'm going to be talking about include a new role that I started at a certain radio station. The second segment of the video, second part of the video, will talk about the station that I've been at for over a year now, the one and only Vibe 107.6. Then I'm going to talk about my alias, Life, and my own original music. And then after that, I'm going to talk a bit about DJing and how I feel about, well, how things have been going with that and how I feel about where I'm at with DJing. And then I'm probably going to end on talking about some other goals that I've got for this year. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, first thing I want to talk about is I have started a new role at TalkRadio. I say like I've just started. I actually started in November, but it's still relatively new. So I wanted to mention it. But yeah, I've started a role at TalkRadio as a technical operator. I'm absolutely loving it so far. I've already tech op shows for. I've done Ian Collins' Afternoon Empire. I've done Talk Drive with a few different presenters now, including Peter Cardwell, Alex Phillips, and Kevin O'Sullivan. And I've also done Nightlife as well with Andre Walker. And I've also done a few other shows with other presenters that have stepped in over Christmas, whilst other full-time presenters have been off or been away on holiday. So yeah, I've already done quite a few shows. Oh, and also I was also involved in the simulcast between Talk Sport and Talk Radio on the 29th of December, when we had loads of Premier League games happening. And that was really cool. That was my first time ever sort of working with a Talk Sport producer. And even though I technically wasn't in the Talk Sport studio, it was still very, very fun because I watched. Well, for those of you who know me personally, you know that I'm not as big a football fan as I am now. How do I phrase that? I'm not as big of a football fan now as I used to be a few years ago when I was a bit younger, but I'm still a Liverpool fan to this day. So football's I'm always keeping in touch with it, like every now and then. So yeah, not watching it every single weekend like I used to, but still keeping in touch. So it was quite fun. It was quite fun to do that and see how, something that me and my dad would have tuned into like just a few years ago, like a Talk Sport broadcast. Just like if we were driving somewhere and there was football on, then the first station we'd go to would be Talk Sport. So it's really cool to see how something that me and my dad would have tuned into like a few years ago actually works behind the scenes. So that's the first thing. So new role at Talk Radio. For now, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can make it Talk Sport soon as well. I'd absolutely love that. Right, second thing. Vibe 107.6. Of course it's Vibe. We've got so much to talk about with Vibe. going into the new year. So I will start off with Raw Vibes. So just before the end of last year, Christopher Lane, who is our presenter for On Air Acoustic at Vibe, he revealed that he was no longer going to be presenting Raw Vibes. So essentially what happened last year was we had Chris Milligan, who was the previous presenter of Raw Vibes. He left Vibe to go and work for another broadcaster. And what happened was, essentially, the two shows, Raw Vibes and On Air Acoustic, that looked really bad. Raw Vibes and On Air Acoustic merged into one show. So essentially, what happened was, the first hour would be Raw Vibes, where we would showcase tracks that got sent into us from grassroots and indie artists. Not always indie, but sometimes indie, like as in independent artists. The first hour would be music that was sent in from them. We would then play that on the station in the first hour, and Chris would read out info about the band or the singer, the artist, and obviously talking about like if they've got any shows coming up, or if they've got let's say like any other announcements they wanted to make, or to tell their fans. So that was what the whole purpose of the first hour was with Raw Vibes. And in the second hour is On Air Acoustic, which is Chris's own show. And that is where we would get a live artist in for a 45-minute set. Again, it'll be like grassroots and indie artists. So that was how it worked last year. Was we had the two shows combined. However, Chris made the decision just before Christmas to not continue presenting Raw Vibes and to just pursue On Air Acoustic as its own show. So what is happening now is that with Raw Vibes, nothing is confirmed. As I make this video, today is Saturday the 10th of January. As I make this video, nothing is confirmed. I must specify. Nothing is confirmed as of yet. However, the plan with Raw Vibes, as it stands, is to move it to a Tuesday. What time that will be on a Tuesday, I'm not sure. I'm hoping it will be the same time it used to be on a Thursday, 7 PM till 8 PM. However, that might not happen. It might end up being a bit later than usual. It could end up being like maybe a 9 PM till 10 PM slot. So again, don't take my word for it as of yet. I am still currently the producer of the show, in tandem with Juliet Sear as well. However, I can't confirm the timings for Raw Vibes yet, because it's still in discussion. So as it stands, it's definitely going to move to a Tuesday. What time it will be, I have no idea as of yet. I don't know as of yet. I think saying no idea sounds quite worse, actually. So I just don't know yet. And in terms of the new presenter as well, because of course we have a new presenter for it. I'm not going to reveal. I'm going to let them reveal who they are, and I will let them do that when they feel most comfortable to do so. However, I can say that I pretty much know who it is, and I can't wait to start working with them. So that's what's happening with Raw Vibes. Right, next was On Air Acoustic, right, the other show that I mentioned with Chris. So, On Air Acoustic is continuing at the same time. So, essentially, the Thursday 7 PM till 9 PM slot will continue to be Chris's show. So, that full 2-hour slot is now just going to be On Air Acoustic. The first hour is going to be essentially it's going to be a standard playlist. So it'll be a standard pop playlist. However, myself and Chris are sort of working in tandem with each other or tandem, is it tandem or tandem? I think it's tandem. Working in tandem with one another to come up with crafty things for the show. So things like, we actually tested one thing out on the previous Thursday show on the 8th. So if you weren't tuning into that, we actually trialled out a new feature which Chris called 8 to Feel Great, which was essentially 8 minutes after. So after the ad break in the first hour, we did a little segment called 8 to Feel Great, which is essentially 8 minutes of non-stop house music or non-stop dance music, basically. So Chris decided to do this little segment, basically just to bring the energy up, for the show, because obviously you do get dance music on rotation in the standard pop playlist. You might get 1 or 2 dance tracks in an hour, or you may get none, you may get 2, or you may get like as many as 3 or 4, depending on what depending on what the logs generate. However, yeah, we decided to do that little segment, and Chris really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. So we're thinking of keeping that in, because it was quite fun. Especially because, I mean, goodness me, you know my show as well, Enter Electronic. I mean, you know how much I don't need to talk about how much I love dance music when I make it myself. So, so that was one little thing we decided to try out. We also had a little segment where we talked about confessions as well, which was a bit of a light-hearted, like, what was it we talked about on Thursday? We talked about something to do with, what was the first thing you look for when you go to book a hotel room? So, Chris and myself both agreed that the price was the first thing that we would normally go and check out. However, Chris admitted that someone that he knows, someone that he saw around Christmas, told him that the first thing that they look for when they go to book a hotel room is the bathroom and the bath. The first thing they look at is the bath. Which, like, I mean, I hate, like, I'm trying to sound like I'm not judging, but if like, I understand that is an important part of the hotel room, but if that's the first thing you're looking at when you go to book a hotel is the bath, especially if you're only staying there for a night or two, like, I don't know. I feel like I can understand it if you're going to be in the hotel, like, because of work, and you're going to be there for, like, more than 3 days, then I completely get it. But the first thing you check out, like, I don't know. For me, it just seemed just a little bit odd. But look, each to their own accord. So anyway, I've gone off a tangent there. That was the confessions. That was another little thing we decided to do in that first hour, and we're still coming up with other, like, creative things to do in that first hour. We're completely open to suggestions from you guys, from our listeners as well. We're open to hearing feedback from you, whether you like the existing segments we've decided to put in, like 8 to Feel Great and the confessions. And we're open to hearing whether you like them or you don't like them, and we're also hearing. Oh my god, I'm trying to speak. We're also open to hearing if there's anything you would like to be added to the first hour of the show as well. So feel free to get in touch with either myself or Chris through either Instagram. We're both on Instagram. Chris is @_Christopher Lane, I believe it is. I think it's at underscore Christopher Lane, and then mine is lukebehan.audio. Or you can send an email to us. My email is luke.behan@vibe1076.com, and Chris's email is christopher.lane at vibe1076.com. Okay, so that's on Air Acoustic. The next thing is my show, Enter Electronic. So, as you all know, tonight I was meant to do as I speak now, I was supposed to be doing the first show of the new year. Today is obviously the 10th of Saturday, 10th of January, and the first Enter Electronic of 2026 should have been today. However, I decided not to do it today, and the main reason for that is because next week I decided that next week would be a stronger return to the show, because I will have a studio guest. Yes, for the first time since the 8th of November, I will actually have a new guest DJ for the show. I'm so glad this is happening, but B, I also just apologise for the fact that I have not had a studio guest on in so long. It's a bit embarrassing when it's one of the main features of the show is the guest DJ, and when you keep not delivering upon that part of the show, it gives you a reason to switch off, and it gives you a reason to just not tune in, because and I will admit as well, I think I just got so tired towards the end of last year that there was an awful lot going on, which I will explain actually. I'm going to do another video, not tonight, because it will be too long, but maybe either tomorrow or Monday, which will basically be like a 2025 full-on, like 2025 year in review, where I basically talk about everything that happened last year, and like from every month, and you can either listen to that or not. It's probably going to be quite long. It's probably going to be a minimum, I'm going to say minimum half hour, but I mean that's really putting it lightly. I think it's really minimum 45 minutes. It could be longer than that. So it's completely up to you whether you want to tune for it or not. But essentially, anyway, going back to Enter Electronic, I got very tired at the end of last year, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't put as much effort into the show as I should have been doing so last year, especially towards from mid-November till like the end of the year. Because we did the first I think it was the first 4 shows when it became permanent in the October, because we did obviously the first 2 pilot shows back in August, and then the show became a permanent fixture on the Vibe calendar from the 18th of October onwards. And I had, for the first 2 shows I had guests, and then the third show I didn't because of fireworks night, because that was going on, and then I had so I had Eddie's Kaizen for the first show on the 18th of October. I had Josh Howe on the 25th of October, and then I had Chakra in on the 8th of November, but since Chakra I have had no other guests. So again, I apologise for that. However, that all ends next week when we return on Saturday the 17th of January with for Enter Electronic with a studio guest. So look forward to that. I will be announcing, I've probably already said it in an Instagram post, but I will be announcing who that guest is later on in the week. The show is other updates on the show. Haven't really got anything else. The show's continuing. It's not stopping anytime soon. I do love it. I think it's good that I had a little break away from it, and I'm like, it's given me a bit of time to sort of refuel, re-energize, and I'm just looking forward to coming back to it and hopefully bringing more energy to it than ever before. The last thing I need to talk about in relation to Vibe, wow, I've been talking about Vibe for almost like 15 minutes now, but there's just so much going on at Vibe. I just have to get it all out in this video. But the last thing I want to talk about with Vibe 107.6 is in regards to a show that I covered for 3 weeks in a row. On the, oh no, I don't have the dates on me. I can't remember. But anyway, before this Friday just gone, I covered this show for the past 3 Fridays. And that show was none other than Friday Night Dance. So I covered the show on the 19th, the 20th. So yeah, it was on the 19th of December, on Boxing Day, the 26th, and I also covered it on the 2nd of January, the day after New Year's Day. In regards to Friday Night Dance, the update is that myself and LJ are now becoming joint presenters of Friday Night Dance. But we are becoming presenters on rotation. So essentially what that means is we're both going to be presenters of the show, but we're not co-presenting the show. So essentially what it will be is that 1 week it will be LJ, the next week it will be myself, and then the week after it will be LJ again, the week after that it will be me, then LJ, then me, then LJ, and then so on and so forth. And that's how it's going to work. I don't know how long that will be going on for, but for the foreseeable future, that is how the schedule is going to look. And I just want to say a massive thank you to LJ for allowing me to become a second presenter for Friday Night Dance. It is his show at the end of the day. However, I am delighted to be taking on or to be helping him out with it, and also like. I was about to say co-presenting it with him, unfortunately. We might end up doing that actually at some point. Hopefully we will do a live show together at some point. However, at the moment we have nothing planned for that. But yeah, the main reason that this has happened is because LJ has become quite busy since the turn since the end of last year going into this year. He's picked up a lot more clients at his work, and he also wants to spend more time with his family as well. He's got a very young child now as well, so it's completely understandable that he wants to spend more time with his family whilst work gets busy. So yeah, I'm glad to help him out in that regard. But yes, that's the update for Friday Night Dance. Myself and LJ are now going to be joint presenters of the show on rotation. So 1 week LJ, 1 week me, and so on and so forth. Right, that is everything in regards to Vibe 107.6, and that is probably going to take up the majority of the video. But yeah, I must stress as well, I say that as if it's like a bad thing. No, I still love working at Vibe. It's just, I have so much fun with it. Like, there's so many different shows I now produce with Raw Vibes moving to a different day. Raw, that's now technically its own show. So I now produce, as of this moment, 1, 2, 3, and when I do cover Friday Night Dance, 4. So yeah, that's a lot of shows now, Vibe, and I still love working there, and I don't intend on leaving or finishing up with that anytime soon. Okay, let's wrap that bit up. Now we're going to talk about L.I.F.E. And when I say life, I don't mean life in general. I mean life as in L.I.F.E. .wav, as you might see it called on my SoundCloud or on my Instagram. But yeah, my alias and the alias I release music under, Life. First thing I must stress is that the response to the EP. First of all, I want to say massive thank you to everyone who has streamed, purchased, and downloaded the EP or the individual songs from the EP. The End. Obviously, I released my debut EP back on the 21st of December, and I've just absolutely loved the response from the people who have listened to it. It's been great, and yeah, I'm just so glad I managed to get. I'm just so glad that I at least have some music released now. So, the first thing I wanted to say was in regards to the EP. Essentially, I'm going to be releasing the EP on Bandcamp, and that will be happening. So today's the 10th. That will be happening on Monday. I'm going to release it on Bandcamp on. Well, I might actually do it. It might either be tomorrow, actually. No, I think let's make it Monday. Let's make it Monday because I'm seeing friends tomorrow. So yeah, it'll either actually no, it'll either be tomorrow evening, which will be the evening of the 11th, or it'll be Monday morning. I don't know. Oh no, I can't make a decision. Oh, I think. Do you know what? No, I'll say Monday. I'll say Monday because I'm seeing a friend tomorrow. So, I'll put it out on Monday morning on Bandcamp. Bandcamp, I must specify as well, will be the best way to support me as an artist and allow me to continue my artistic journey. And that is because what Bandcamp, for those of you who don't know, what Bandcamp is essentially a digital music store. So essentially, when you go on, it's basically like buying a digital album. You can, what I can do is I can charge a certain price for an album or an EP or a single, and it allows my fans to actually digitally own my music. Instead of just streaming it through Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon or whatever you use, or listening to it on YouTube. It actually allows you to own the file, the original files for my music. So I'm going to be pricing the EP at £9 on Bandcamp, and that is because I believe that is a pretty fair price, because the way I've done it is essentially, or the way I'm going to release it is essentially, it's going to be all 6 original mixes and all 6 radio edits from the EP that you can buy all in one bundle for £9. It'll be all the original 32-bit WAV files, so the highest quality files I could possibly export from Ableton. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to price it at £9, and you can also, and if you don't want to spend, if you've got certain tracks on the EP that you like and certain ones that you don't like, so you just want to buy like 1 or maybe 2 tracks, then you can do that for £1 each. So in theory, it is cheaper to buy the whole thing from £9, because if you were to buy all 12 tracks individually, it would cost you £12. But it is completely up to you what you would rather do. The other thing that I must specify as well is that if you purchase it through Bandcamp, you will actually get 2 bonus tracks. Oh yes. So you won't see them when you go on the EP on Bandcamp. You won't actually see the tracks listed on the website, and that is because what I will do is I will essentially you will see them after you've purchased the EP. So basically, there is a feature on Bandcamp to hide tracks. So what you can do is basically upload a track. You could put the person going to buy the album or EP can't see it until they've purchased it. Essentially, you're going to get 2 bonus tracks. The first one is a fully finished track that didn't make it onto the EP because why didn't it make it actually? That's a good reason. That's a good thing. Why didn't it make it? I'm trying to remember now. It didn't make. I think. Was it? No, it was definitely finished. It's just I think. I felt like it would be out of place. I can't remember why I didn't put it on now. But anyway, it didn't make it onto the EP for whatever reason at the time. I was thinking. So if you purchase it through Bandcamp, you'll get that finished bonus track, and the other bonus track is not a finished track. However, it is a snippet or a early demo version of my next single. Oh yes, my next single, which will be coming out on the 23rd of January. Yeah, I'm going to make it, what's today, 10th? No, 30th. Sorry, I just realised actually to get it on... Oh no. No, okay, I think I'm going to make it the 30th, actually. I just said the 23rd. I'm going to make it the 30th. Okay, sorry. Oh my god, indecisiveness. I'm going to make it the 30th simply because it gives me more time to get it right and then obviously tease it and showcase it to publishers and things. But yeah, okay. So basically, you will get a snippet of my next single, which is due to be released on January 30th. And yeah, so that is what you will get if you decide to purchase the EP on Bandcamp. Like I said, it's £9. That is the minimum price of it that I will list it at, and each individual track will be £1 each. But just to be aware, if you purchase tracks individually, you won't get access to the 2 bonus tracks. So just bear that in mind when you do go and purchase tracks individually. Another cool thing about Bandcamp as well, whilst I'm here, is that you can name your price. So that is one of the things that us artists love about the platform, is that what you can do is, I list the EP at like £9, right? What you can do is, if you want to pay more, then that option is available to you through the feature of Name Your Price. So let's say the album costs £9, or sorry, the EP costs £9, and you decide, actually, do you know what? Like, I feel like, just hypothetically speaking, someone listens to it and goes, "Oh, do you know what? I think Luke put, lots of effort into this. I'm gonna give a little bit more. Do you know what? I'm gonna give him a little bit more money to help him with his journey." Then let's say that person wants to pay £15 instead of £9. Then that option is there for you to do that if you wish to do so. So yeah, that's another really cool thing about Bandcamp, is the Name Your Price feature. And you can also do that with the individual tracks as well, if you want to. And I must also stress as well as speaking about Bandcamp and how much I love it, please only use please only buy the EP or individual tracks through Bandcamp if you can afford to. I know that money is tight for a lot of people right now. the situation has not changed. We've just come out of Christmas, and obviously a lot of heavy spending usually goes on at Christmas and the New Year as well. So if you are tight on money at the moment, please do not go and buy the EP or buy the tracks, because I'd rather you spent that money on yourself and took care of yourself and your friends and family first, rather than buying my music. So the option is there if you want to do so, but if you're tight on money, please do not. Please don't. I'd rather you spend it on helping yourself and others first. Right, okay. Another thing I want to talk about with my music. Oh my god. I said this video is going to be unedited as well, and we're at 35 minutes. Oh my god. Another thing with my music is that I'm aiming to release, so it won't be this month unfortunately, there will be a single out this month, but from February onwards I'm aiming to have at least 2 singles out every month. Right, 2 singles out every month. Alright, it is doable and I'm going to do it. Do you know what? I might end up actually releasing more than that, depending on how quickly I can make and finish tunes to a great quality. That is my promise to you guys, is at least 2 singles out on the streaming platforms and on Bandcamp every month. Of course, things like bootlegs and unofficial remixes, if I do choose to do them, will be only available on SoundCloud. Or it depends. Well, yeah, they'll only be out on SoundCloud. It depends on whether I get official permission from the artist, the original artist, if they're okay with me to upload it commercially or not. So that's my promise to you: 2 singles out every month from February onwards. Oh yeah. And another thing as well is that I'm aiming this year to have done at least 3 collaborations. So one thing I really want to do more that I've never actually done before with my own music is collaborated with other artists, and that's something that I am definitely aiming to do more of this year. I'm aiming for at least 3 collabs. Alright, 3 collabs with 3 artists, whether they're vocalists, guitarists, drummers, keys players, whatever they may be. I'm 100% willing to work with them. And if you've heard, actually, it's a good chance to say, if you've heard my music and you like it, you think your voice, you think your guitar, you think your drums, you think your keys work with the stuff that I'm making, then please do get in touch. I'm absolutely willing to work with as many people this year as possible. If you want to get in touch with me, again, the Instagram's at lukebehan.audio, and my email for music inquiries is luke@lukebehanaudio.com. That's everything in regards to my music. The next thing I want to talk about was DJing. Towards the end of last year, I DJ'd, how many gigs did I do in total? I aimed last year to do, I think it was 10 gigs in total after I did my first gig back in May of last year at the Beach House in Watford. I aimed for 10 gigs. I don't think I made it to 10. I think I made it to about 9. It was either 8 or 9. I didn't count it now. But I think it was either 8 or 9. I definitely didn't reach 10. This year we will definitely be doing way more than 10. That is my aim, at least, anyway. I've now got a PA and lighting package as well, so I can now essentially be hired for weddings and, well, not just weddings, but parties and but yeah, parties, weddings, birthdays, any like big events that you may want to DJ for, then I have got my own equipment now to do so, to offer, as well as myself. So yeah, hopefully we're doing some more of them. I did a birthday last year. I did a 21st birthday on the 29th of November, which went down a great success. And I also did the New Year's Eve party at the Croxley Green Community Centre, which was a bit of a harder crowd, a bit of a tougher crowd to please, because it was quite a mix of ages in the crowd. But I think overall it was quite good, and I can tell you now, my parents definitely enjoyed the music I played towards the end of the night, which is always great. With DJing, there's definitely improvements that I want to make this year, such as like in terms of learning new skills, such as scratching. I think scratching is I've always found scratching pretty cool. So I'm not saying that I'm going to become a scratch DJ, but it's definitely a little skill that I'd like to learn and have in my arsenal. And yeah, I think I'm not going to think of, what would you call it, like, I'm not going to say any more goals related to skills for now, apart from scratching, because there's just so many things with DJing that I look at. I think live remixing will definitely be another one that I would absolutely love to learn, like, so much. Doing live mashups, live remixes would be just so cool, because again, it's your own take on an original song. So, it leaves more unpredictability for your sets. I feel like, I'm guilty of doing it in all my sets, but just playing like loads of old school stuff, just because I know it's what will get people, up and dancing. But then again, sometimes the crowd want to hear new stuff. They don't always want to hear the old school stuff. So I need to learn about live remixing and mashupping to try and keep it interesting for the listeners and attendees of events that I'm DJing at. And finally, so that's DJing. Finally, other goals for this year. I've written down 2. It'll probably expand a bit more than that by the halfway point of this year. But yeah, the first one was getting my driver's license. I was actually doing driving lessons up until August of last year, and then I stopped stupidly. I shouldn't have. I should have just stuck with it and done my test and probably would have been alright. But for some reason, I decided to stop because I just felt a complete lack of confidence in myself to do it. But that is something that I'm going to rectify and make sure that I get done this year, is getting my driver's license for definite. And the final thing is regular exercise. Because I was working so much last year, what ended up happening was I stopped doing regular exercise because there were some weeks where I was working 7 days out of 7. Like, I was working every day, and the majority of weeks I was working at least 5 out of 7, if not 6 out of 7, and doing long hours each day. So finding time to go to the gym, or just doing exercise in general was a bit more difficult than previous years of my life. However, this year I have re-signed up to the gym, and I'm going to make sure that I definitely go and commit to regular exercise in this new year, because I need to do so. Right, that was my personal goals. That is everything I wanted to talk about in this video. My goodness, we are nearly at 45 minutes. Oh my god. Wow, that is... God, I like to chat, don't I? I like the sound of my own voice, clearly. But anyway, that's been it from me. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, well, I don't even need to explain this because you'll see it when you go on YouTube, but essentially I'm going to timestamp each segment so you can just skip to the bits that you want to hear. So let's say you're not interested, let's say you're interested in, excuse me, hypothetically speaking, you're interested in my music, but you don't necessarily want to hear everything that's going on at Vibe, then I'll leave a timestamp in so you can skip to the segment that you want to hear. So yeah, so that's how I'm going to do it. Just want to say a massive thank you once again for if you've made it to this long in a video. I consider you a super fan of mine, and yeah, you must clearly absolutely love what I do, but I'm greatly appreciative of all of you that watch my stuff and listen to me ramble on every week about everything that all my commitments and everything that I do in my life. So yeah, once again, huge thank you. I had a little break as well. I should have mentioned this at the start of the video. I had a little break in Ireland. I was away from the 2nd till the 7th of January, seeing family and and just having a bit of time out because I desperately needed it. So it's nice to come back feeling refreshed and feeling more energised than ever before for a new year. I'm loving the energy, by the way, that so many people are bringing to this new year. Like, I feel like I've just not seen this in a long time. Like, a lot of people are going, yep, this is it, this is the year, it's happening. So many people are getting this same feeling of like, yeah, it's my year. And I'm not just going to say it's my year, I'm going to say this is our year. Alright, I'm just going to put it out here. For all of you watching this video, this is our year. Alright, let's make it our year. Because we have got all the power and all the time to do that. So let's make this one a year to remember for all of us. Okay. I'm going to stop rambling on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Luke, and yeah, I will see you for my full-on year, 2025 full year in review, which will be out later on in the week. Thank you guys once again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.